Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're going to be going over the test server. Basically the 9.15 patch is going to be out fairly shortly. Not exactly sure. I've seen May 8th. I don't know. That's only basically a week away, so they may be that far along with it. I'm not sure, but anyway, there are quite a few changes happening visually and kind of behind the scenes. So with stats and whatnot. So I'm going to go over a fair portion of it tonight and give you an idea of what's to come. So first of all, we're going to take a look here. This is kind of a new thing that they've got. So as you can see, I'm on the Leopard 1. This is something that you've never been able to do before, and we are going to preview that tank. So now you can take a look at it, look at the stats of the tank, look at what it, take a look at what it looks like, see the crew, description, whatnot. This is reminiscent of War Thunder a little bit in that you can look at the tank before you purchase it. I don't know how. Yeah, it's kind of nice. You can, that's Leopard 1 is pretty cool looking. But other than that, you've always been able to. Let me go back here. You've always been able to kind of look at. See, there's vehicle details. Basically, it's the same stats. You've always been able to look at this type of stuff, but they've kind of, like I said, they've made it more like War Thunder in that you can actually look at the tank. The next thing, if you notice, the attributes of the tank, you can now a little more description in the whole thing, I guess. We'll take a look at this here. So it's got your shell damage, penetration, rate of fire, reload time, traverse speed. This is something new here. This was something you used to have to look up either online or if you had XVM installed, there was options to be able to show this type of stuff. But as well as this. Aim time has always been there, dispersion, and it also shows your average damage per minute, which is kind of nice. This used to be, you used to have to hover over the tank and do that kind of stuff. They've kind of cleaned it up, I guess. It would be nice, like this 475. I'm not exactly sure what that's based off from. I mean, what does that number in relation to the Jagdpanzer E100? What does that mean? It'd be nice if it was on just a scale of 0 to 100. That would give you a better idea, because like the Grill 15, that's 724. But when you look at it, yeah, it's got more average damage. Shell penetration isn't as good. Shell damage obviously isn't as good as the Jagdpanzer, but it's up at 724, and the Jagdpanzer is 475. If it were me, I mean, I've played half a dozen games in the Grill. I would much rather face this than the Jagdpanzer. That's just me, though, I guess. Armor, 735. Once again, it shows hit points, and these have always been in the normal. The patch we have now, this showed up. Mobility. You've got weight, load, engine power. Specific power is now shown. 8.94 horsepower per ton, which is awfully low. Reverse speed also. That was one thing that you never got to see. You'd have to look that up. So that's kind of nice. Concealment. Whoop. Take a look at that. So this is this you used to have to either look up, or XVM had an option for it as well. The higher the number, the better off you are. Now I don't know, how much 8.9 is. If you look at the E25, it's 25.1. Is that, in relation to this, what is that? I don't know. I've never really researched it all that much, but in the looking around that I have done, I haven't really found out what that number actually means, because the Grill is 8.23, the Jagdpanzer is 8.9. The higher the number, the better off you are. Why is the Grill lower than the Jagdpanzer? Who knows? Much smaller, not even as tall. You can see the Jagdpanzer's up here. The grill is down below that shadow back there, or those conduit or whatever that is. So I'm not exactly sure what that number signifies, but now you know what it is, though. Spotting, that stuff has never changed. So the other thing is when you have, let's say, here, we're on the grill. Whoop. Let me demount the large tank gun rammer here. As you can see, rate of fire 3.79, reload speed 15.8. If I put it back on, 4.21, 14.2. So it's real time. You don't have to, you know, that was another thing with XVM. It never, it would show your reload time. The old system didn't have that. So what they've basically done is picked up on what XVM has been doing for quite a while now, and then basically they've incorporated it into the game. You'll see a little more later on where another example of it, but actually a couple examples of it. But same thing, you know, aim time. I'm sure if I put on, let me put on a enhanced gun laying drive here. Aim time is now 1.3. So it's real time. You get to see what the effects of your crew, you know, if you switched out, you know, this guy for another guy who's, well, let me put the E1 in E100. So all of a sudden my average damage per minute, because I changed out my loader, 2783, 3161. So it gives you a little more information to let you know, hey, I'm doing this and this is the effect, which is kind of nice, you know. I mean, that's always helpful. And that's the same for everything. You know, when you change out modules, when you change, you know, if I put on chocolate or whatever the case may be, any change that you make that will affect the tank will now show up here. The other thing that's changing is you've got this down here. You've got filters now that you only used to get with XVM. Now I can only look at, say I want to look at American tanks, medium, in tier 7. Okay, that's my tank. That's the only one I have. Whereas before they didn't have that. It was that, like I said, that was an XVM thing. The only thing, and they also have, which ones haven't I played yet? You know, you can look at, say you've gotten your daily doubles on 20 out of my 60 tanks. It'll show me which ones I haven't done yet. This is also, let's see, when you set it as primary, same sort of thing. So, kind of nice there. You can filter through a lot faster than you used to be able to. Also, well, the only thing that I kind of wish they would do next, if you've ever seen, you know, another one of my videos where I do my daily doubles or fast previews, fast reviews, you'll notice that I have 2 lines for my carousel here. That would be nice if they would enable that to where you could put, you know, okay, I've got 150 tanks, this kind of garbage, you know, I'm trying to find, you know, say you've got 10 tier 10s, you know, and you do your tier 10s or your American tier 10s, you know, you've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, whatever the case may be. You know, well, I only want to find my heavy tier 10s. Well, then you got to hit this, and you got 2, you know. So it would be nice if they could even give you a little more of an option and allow this carousel to be 2 rows or 3 rows or whatever, you know, however many you want. A couple other things that are changing: the base capture. Now it has a bar that shows the number of capturing and the time left, which is another thing that XVM showed you. So I mean, they're doing a lot of the stuff that it's almost getting to the point where, you know, who knows, at 9.16, 9.17, or whatever, 10, whatever the next one, they may actually start showing you statistics just like XVM does. Who knows? But they've definitely taken a page out of XVM's playbook, I guess you'd say, and are adding these things in. There's also another warning that toward the end of a battle, it lets you know when there's, I think it's when it hits 2 minutes, or basically a minute 59 seconds. There's a warning sound for it. There's also a audible sound for your camo and your binoculars coming online, basically. So when your camo and binoculars click on, you'll hear that sound. Let's see, sound system settings. So you go into your settings here, go to sound, you've got high quality, let's see, right here, wide, narrow, and also the type of sound, whether you have headphones or not. You can customize your sound a little better than you used to be able to, and it might, I don't know how, I haven't really noticed a difference too much, but like I wasn't playing with them as headphones, and I use headphones when I'm playing, so that may change a little bit. I haven't, it probably will once I go into game. But the other thing you'll notice here is that it gives you your latency to the server. So my ping to the test server is 201. When I play on West, US West. I'm usually around 30 to 35, somewhere around there. On the East Coast, if I play on the Eastern server, I'm up in the 70 to 80 range. But I wouldn't have known that if XVM didn't show it to me. So now that is in the game, in the vanilla game. Now these, like I said when I reviewed the grill, this is all subject to change. You can't, when I started up this afternoon, I had a patch that I had to install that automatically downloaded. So it's constantly changing. Little things here and there are changing. You never know what is actually going to make it into the game, but as we get closer and closer, we'll start to see that. The other thing that is changing is Platoons, which is good. This is exciting for me, at least, because nothing irritates me more, well, besides players that sit there and just camp and the general stupid stuff people do sometimes. But when you get a failed platoon, basically, you get a tier 2 guy and he's platooned up with a tier 8, that I don't know why people do it, whether they think it's funny, I'm not sure, but basically, you're going into a battle one man down. Well, they are going to try and fix that. Hopefully they do. Two things they're doing. First of all, you can still platoon with anybody you want. It doesn't matter the tier, but what they are doing is they are giving a bonus if whoever's in the platoon, whether it's 2 or 3 people, if you're all the same tier, you will get a bonus at the end of the match. How much that is, I don't know. I haven't gone in and tried it out yet. Chances of platooning up with somebody on the test server, unless you know somebody that you play with. I have friends that I play with, but we rarely play together, either different time zones or whatever the case may be. So, and a lot of them don't play on the test server. So but if it's 10%, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. 5%, 10%, 15, 20. I mean, 20 would be real nice, but I'm going to guess that it's on the 10% level. You will get a bonus of that when the match is over. If you decide to be a bonehead and tier up with somebody 3 tiers difference, so you're in a tier 8 and they're in a tier 4, you will get a penalty at the end of the match. And hopefully that penalty is large enough that it will end this kind of stuff. That should come, that should be good news for everybody who's watching this video, because if you don't think that's good news, then I don't know. I guess you're just playing the game to, you know, screw over people, or, you know, maybe you think that's funny. I don't. I enjoy winning. I don't enjoy losing. And usually when you've got a failed platoon, not always an automatic loss, but I'd say probably 75% of the time, because you're going down, you know, you're playing 14 v 15 pretty much. The next thing, they've also added a times 16 and a times 25 aiming. So instead of, you know, 1, 2, 4, 8, whatever, I don't remember what it was, but now you can aim 16 and 25 times. And it also shows you in your reticle what when you're zoomed into sniper mode, it shows you what your multiplication for that magnification is. And so they've added in HD models for certain tanks, and we're going to take a look at some of them. We have the T-46 has been changed into HD. So for all you low tier guys, this tier 3, that's looking pretty good actually. A lot of you know, you didn't get the love because you know, people don't play them as much, or they play them while they're grinding out the, you know, and then they move on. The T-127, which oh, I don't think I have that actually, but we'll take a look at it. Kind of that's cute looking. The T-127, if you don't have, I don't have it, but excellent little tank. I need to buy it actually, but I usually buy when they go on sale. So but excellent little tank. You can see the mobility and concealment spotting are all, I mean, those are pretty high. So the BT-7 has also had some love given to it. Very nice. Oh, I like that. The screen on the covering up the mufflers there. Very nice looking. The T-80, which I never went down this line, so also very nice looking. I like the little dent there. Boy, the fenders have been beat to crap, huh? Very good. The SU-85B. Whoop. Don't want to purchase it. Want to preview it. I mean, it looks better than what it used to, but a little bland. I like the mufflers. That's pretty cool looking. Just I don't know. Not much you can do to that though. So they're definitely giving some love to the lower tiers there, though. The T-43 is also now in HD, which that looks nice. One way you can tell is, well, there's two ways. One is the rifling in the barrel. You can now see. And also, if you look at the tracks on the side, they used to just kind of be smooth. You can see this has some ridges where the links come together. So, also the SU-122-54. Tier 9 is getting some love. Wow, that looks... the welding on that. Nice looking. The grates on the back. That made quite a bit of a difference there. And of course the log looks nice. And also the Object 430. See what this looks like. Oh, they got like a birch log on the back of this one. Once again, kind of bland on the front. You got a couple little dents here and there, but I like the way the machine gun looks there. And on to the Germans. Let's see, we got the... oh, where is it at? The 38T, where am I? Oh, right here. Jeez. Oh, it's got a couple logs. That's probably from its Czech heritage. Rivets look real nice. It's nice looking. And also the 3001P. Yeah. I don't know. That one's basically not a whole lot. I mean, yeah, you can visually tell that it's been changed, but it doesn't do a whole lot. And we go back down to the good old T1. Look at that. I don't know why they made that an HD model. Kind of a waste, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to make them all. The T67 as well. That one will be not bad. You know, I don't know if these have changed the model itself as far as like height or anything like that. The M6 is getting some love too. Well, that doesn't look like it. If you look at the track, I don't think that. Well, maybe they haven't done it yet. That's might be coming still, or maybe they decided not to. Not sure, but the AMX 1390 in the French tree. Yeah, that looks nice. Very nice. Very well detailed. I don't know, you know, it's just the HD tanks, I mean, make a huge difference to me as far as visuals. It doesn't matter in the game, but also the Bishop. This will be interesting. Now that looks pretty good. I don't know. I mean, they don't do a whole lot to them. You know, I mean, they look more detailed, but and they add little things, I guess, you know, that make it look more detailed. But when you've got a tank that doesn't have a lot going on it, doesn't make a huge impact like some of the. Oh, the IS-3 itself looks a lot different. The Centurion Mark 1 as well. And that's another one. You know, yeah, it's got this ribbing on the back of the engine plate there, or the engine deck, I should say. But that's kind of cool. The reflection off the glass there. I don't know why that would be. Huh. Pretty neat. You don't see it off the periscopes, but anyway, the Chinese get the 131. Yeah, that's another, you know, they just, yeah, it's HD now, but it just doesn't have a lot going for it, so it doesn't make the visual impact like some of them do. And also the Chi-He and the Chi-Nu-Kai in the Japanese. That's another one that just doesn't have a lot going for it. And the Chi-Nu-Kai, the Tier 5 Premium. Once again, pretty. Yeah, you can tell it's HD, but it's just kind of bland looking. So, they've also made quite a few changes to a whole list of tanks, actually. The Kanonen Jagdpanzer, the A32, the T22 Medium, which is getting a fairly hefty nerf. The 59 Patton, M56 Scorpion, T95 E2, 112 STA2, the T95 E6, ONI, OI Experimental, the OI, the Achilles, the Challenger, and the heavy tank number 6, as well as the Skoda T40. Basically, any of the gun or any of the tanks that have the 88mm that used to be 132 penetration, so the Tiger. Oh, geez, there's a whole list of them. The Indian Panzer, the Jagdpanther. Heck, I think probably a good third of the tanks that are in the German line are going to get a buff when this comes out, because it's going from 132 to 145 penetration, which is kind of nice, actually. We have a whole list of changes. Let me make this a little bigger for you. The T22 traverse speed is changing, dispersion, aim time, reload time, dispersion of the turret, when the turret moves, and traverse speed of the turret, all getting nerfed pretty much. As you can see, 54 to 40. The dispersion on the move is increased by 50%. This is a major nerf. Decreased turret traverse speed from 48 to 30. Aim time from 1.9 to 2.4. Reload time 7.5 to 8.1. So the T-22, although the armor is still, you know, top notch, the gun is getting a beat down pretty much. The A-32, some changes to that. The 112, price being reduced from $12,250 to $10,500. So that's good news if you're wanting to pick up the 112. Hopefully you see this and you don't, because I'm sure that's still going to go, you know, come into effect. You move the fuel tanks from the front to the rear also, so less chance of a fire there. 59 Patton, reverse speeds being changed. View range is buffed. Aim time buff. Reload time, a slight buff. And dispersion, once again, slight buff. That's not a whole lot, but that's helpful. The 59 Patton needed a little bit of love. So Kanone Jagdpanzer, dispersion increased by 20%. Aim time decreased. Penetration going from 212 to 238. Flight speed of the standard shell increased by 28%. So if it was doing, you know, 800 meters per second or whatever the case may be, that's not, what am I thinking? Anyway, that's gone up quite a bit. So that shell is going to impact quite a bit faster than what it would have before. The Panzer 5.4, I'm not sure what that tank is, to tell you the truth. That must be a Panzer 5.4 Alpha. I don't know if that's something that they... I'm not even familiar with that, but that's being changed quite a bit. Japanese STA-2 getting a little bit of a nerf here. Reload time 7.1 to 7.5, so a little slower. Dispersion decreased by 14% though. And the penetration is going from 185.9 to 212, so that's quite a buff. That's on par with the AMX CDC 212. So the STA-1 also changed from 0.37 to 0.38 dispersion. Penetration from 185.9 to 212. Reload time 7.5 to 7.7. Dispersion 0.37. Why do they have that twice? I don't know. Penetration. Don't know why they have all of that twice, tell you the truth. OI Experimental is getting a significant nerf. Traverse speed is dropping. Dispersion is going up. Traverse speed of the higher suspension is going down. Dispersion while on the hull traverse, when you're moving your hull, has been increased by 10%. Your aim times have all been increased. Reload times increased. So the OI Experimental, although yeah, it was pretty OP. That's significant. So I don't know. You know, you still have the armor, but that gun is getting beat to a pulp here. Same thing with the OI. Pretty much everything is either, if it needs to go down, it's going up, and if it needs to go up, it's going down. So the T91, I think that's the tier, let's see, tier 5, 4, 3. Tier 3 is getting a little bit of love, for which it needs. The T91 and the T95 are both horrendous. The Achilles, dispersion on the move is being decreased by 4%. Reload time is being dropped by 0.2 seconds, and the dispersion is going from 0.33 to 0.32. So a little bit of love for the Achilles as well. I have that tank, and it sucks. So hopefully, I don't know how much this is going to help, but it's something at least. The Challenger as well is getting nerfed a little bit here. Traverse speed is oh, sorry, not being nerfed. It's actually getting better. Traverse speed is going up, 26 to 28. Dispersion on the move is decreased by 14%. Dispersion on haul traverse decreased by 7. So you can see reload time, dispersion, aim time, they're all getting a buff. So the M56 getting a little bit of a buff as well. T95 E6 and the E2, which not very many people have. I'm not sure. Looks like it's getting a buff as well. Like I said, these are all the tanks. So you got the Skoda T40, heavy tank number 6, TVP VTU concept. That's the flak bus there. The Indian Panzer, Nashorn, Tiger P, 4502P, 3002D, Jagdpanther 3601, the Jagdpanzer 4, and the Tiger 1 are all getting a buff as far as the 88mm. So that is pretty much it. I'm sure they may be changing this, like I said. They may be adding a couple things here and there. Who knows? They may be taking some away. But that is your changes to come when 9.15 goes live. So let me know what you're looking forward to, or if you're looking forward to any of it. Certainly some things are getting nerfed, some things are getting better. I do like this type of stuff. I just wish that this was more on a scale that compared. I mean, yeah, 724, okay, the Jagdpanzer is 475, but what does that actually mean? If it was on a scale of 0 to 100, I think it'd be a little easier to understand. At least, I don't know, maybe that's just me. But anyway, let me know what you think. If you've played on the test server, let me know. And I appreciate you guys hanging out, watching a little bit of me blabbing on about 9.15. Hopefully it's an improvement, because the game is starting to need some changes, and hopefully this will help a little more. So anyway, you guys have a good one, and we shall see you next time.